When news of Mark Conswell's sudden, terrifying health crisis finally surfaced, viewers of Live with Kelly and Mark had no idea how deeply the situation had been affecting Kelly Ripa behind the scenes. What was meant to be an ordinary, upbeat morning segment instantly shifted into one of the most emotional moments ever captured on live television. Kelly's voice trembled, her eyes welled with tears, and for the first time in a long time, the normally polished host seemed unable to hold it together. This wasn't a scripted moment. It wasn't a rating stunt. It was real, raw, human. And it left millions asking the same questions. What happened to Mark? Why was Kelly so shaken? And how serious was the crisis that nearly tore their world apart? The truth, as it turns out, is far more emotional than anyone watching could have imagined. A love story tested by fear. To fully understand the weight of Kelly's reaction, you have to remember the bond she and Mark have built over more than 2 decades. Ever since their early days on All My Children, the world has watched them evolve from co-stars to soulmates. Over the years, fans have admired their chemistry, the teasing, the quick comebacks, the affectionate glances, the moments they didn't even realize were being captured on camera. But even the strongest love stories get tested when life throws a devastating curveball. And this time, the blow is aimed directly at Mark's health. For weeks, fans began to notice that something felt off. Mark appeared less frequently on the show. His trademark energy, that spark viewers loved, seemed dimmed. His absences raised suspicion. Was it a vacation, a side project, a family emergency? The truth was much heavier. The day everything changed. Viewers didn't know it then, but the day Kelly struggled to hold back tears on camera was the day she could no longer pretend that everything was okay. She had spent days putting on a brave face while quietly living through the biggest scare of her life. As she paused mid-segment, trying desperately to stay composed, her exhaustion and fear slipped through the cracks. For longtime fans, it was a striking moment because Kelly, known for her radiance and resilience, suddenly looked heartbreakingly human. And she wasn't just missing her co-host. She was mourning the stability of the life she and Mark had built. Behind the scenes, a frightening medical mystery was unfolding, one that caught the entire family off guard. Mark Conswell breaks his silence. While Kelly stayed protective and private, Mark chose a different path. Days after speculation reached a fever pitch, he turned to social media to reveal the truth. His message was simple, vulnerable, and unlike anything he had ever shared publicly. "I've never felt so exposed," he wrote alongside a dimly lit photo of him holding Kelly's hand from a hospital bed. "But I've always believed honesty brings clarity." He then described the terrifying moment that started everything. A sudden neurological episode, dizziness, numbness, confusion, a frightening rush of symptoms he tried to dismiss until Kelly insisted he go to the hospital. Doctors quickly discovered that Mark had a pre-existing neurological condition, one that had gone undetected for years. Left untreated, it could have caused permanent damage. Mark continued, "Kelly was there for me through every second. She put on a brave face for the cameras. I'm not sure I could have done this without her." The post exploded across the internet within hours. Millions shared, commented, and sent prayers. And suddenly, Kelly's on-air emotion made perfect sense. This wasn't about a missed show. This was about a woman who feared she might lose her husband. The crisis behind closed doors. While the public only saw brief glimpses, Mark's recovery demanded long days in sterile hospital rooms and sleepless nights filled with uncertainty. He underwent test after test, followed by intense physical therapy to retrain the parts of his body affected by the episode. For a man known for his boundless energy, these new limitations were painful, physically and emotionally. Kelly, juggling her duties as a co-host and a spouse, faced one of the most challenging roles of her life: caregiver. Friends close to the couple said she refused to leave Mark's side, even when she had to wake up before dawn for work. She showed up to the studio with swollen eyes, but her trademark smile, hiding the weight she carried on her shoulders. As one insider put it, she was terrified, but she never let Mark see her panic. Kelly finally speaks out. Weeks later, when Kelly finally shared the story publicly, the moment felt cathartic, not just for her, but for the millions who had watched her struggle to stay composed. Her voice cracked as she recounted the fear, the uncertainty, and the overwhelming gratitude she felt knowing Mark was finally recovering. She described the experience as a wake-up call, one that reminded her how fragile life can be, and how quickly everything you love can be threatened. Fans were brought to tears, and for the first time, the private pain of a deeply connected couple was laid bare before the nation. A new beginning after a scary chapter. Today, Mark is healing, not completely back to the man he once was, but moving forward with strength and determination. His lifestyle looks different now. More rest, more caution, more self-awareness. But the biggest change isn't physical, it's emotional. This crisis didn't weaken Mark and Kelly, it strengthened them. They've become a symbol of partnership, the kind that endures fear, uncertainty, and long nights in hospital waiting rooms. Fans now look at Kelly's emotional moment not as a sign of weakness, but as a testament to her love, a love strong enough to shatter the barrier between public persona and private pain. The takeaway: love endures. In a world where celebrity relationships often fall apart under pressure, Mark Conswell and Kelly Ripa have shown that true love doesn't crumble. It adapts. It survives. It transforms. Their journey through fear, vulnerability, and healing has touched millions, not because they are famous, but because their story is universal. When the person you love is in danger, nothing else matters. Not the cameras, not the job, not the expectations. Only the heartbeat you're afraid of losing.